battlers are out in force today.
Hello, and welcome to this dev diary for Samson, a Tyndalston story.
Today we thought we'd take you through some of the mission types you can play in the game, a bit about the core loop. I'm Tommy Rydling, I'm one of the designers here at Liquid Source.
And I'm Donald Young, I'm a mission designer. So Tyndalston is an old US city, and Tyndalston is a city full of corruption and crime. It's like a city on the brink in a lot of ways. There's a new drug called White Whisper that's been like sweeping through the city. You'll meet people who have been affected by it. You'll get into fights with like dealers who are pushing it, and then that also like ties into the main narrative.
Tyndalston can be a very harsh and unfair city, and this is where Samson lives and works as an enforcer in the Cobb Street gang.
So the game takes place in South End, which is kind of the roughest part of the rough city of Tyndalston. And South End is where Samson grew up, but he's been away for the past few years on the mainland, getting into trouble and accruing a huge amount of debt that he now has to repay.
In Samson, there are basically three main modes of play. Missions, which are split up into narrative chapters, and jobs, and then open exploration, whether that's searching for collectibles or trying to find optional story content.
I'm really sorry to bother you, but could you spare a minute?
Or just taking in the view.
Yeah, the chapters tell a linear story. Shortly after Samson returns to Tyndalston, we have kind of an inciting incident that kicks off the adventure. So the chapters are meant to pull the player kind of like narratively through while they're trying to deal with the debt cycle.
So jobs are your primary way of making cash in the game, and back in the day, Samson used to do that for himself to earn money and also for the Cobb Street gang. But nowadays that he's in debt to the wrong people, he kind of needs to do that every day to chip away at this debt and keep the wolves at bay.
God damn, that feels good.
There's a wide variety of jobs in Samson. It could be anything from picking up criminals at the scene of a crime, losing the heat and dropping them off at a safe location, or maybe someone needs the help of procuring new items. Or it could be maybe a group of young wannabes are trying to start a gang in South End without your say-so. Maybe you need to go there and tell them that's not a very wise idea. And a large amount of these jobs are repeatable. For example, every now and then in South End, some freshly harvested organs need delivery to like an underground clinic, and that can happen every now and then. Other jobs are more uniquely tailored and are more one-off, such as maybe you're after a unique named individual and need to take them out.
Yeah, jobs are your primary way for earning money in the game, and then the chapters are kind of like story delivery method. Every day, the player can choose like which one they want to do and kind of like mix and match to their choice or to whatever pressures are on them at the time. One is not more important than the other. Like we want the chapters and jobs, they kind of like run in parallel, right? And the player has to kind of decide like which is more important at any given time.
I'll have this debt paid off soon, sis.
Yeah, I think it's interesting in the game with this like push and pull between narrative chapters and jobs. Also the fact that you cannot do everything in a single day. Even Samson has his limitations. On the one hand, I'm really eager to find out what happens after the last cliffhanger potentially in the narrative chapters. On the other hand, like maybe my car is broken down. I was planning to try and win a street trial later to earn a bunch of cash, so I need to balance those things and then also see like what does a good day look for me today. Once I described the game as a violent lesson in risk management, and I think that's pretty accurate. We don't want to be too punishing to players for failing a mission or a job here and there, but having said that, you wake up every day and you hopefully feel this like healthy dose of stress of like, oh shit, I have to make a lot of cash today so I can chip away at this debt. And at the same time, the better you do at any given day, the more money you're walking around with like actual cash in South End, and that's dangerous. If you get randomly ambushed in an alley on your way home or whatever, the most probable thing that will happen if you get knocked out is that you lose that money. there's always like that feeling of, I'm having a pretty good day. Is that good enough? Should I go home and bank that progress so they are actually safe?
Yeah, or do I want to like take the risk and try to go out and earn just like a little bit more money, chip off a little bit more of the debt?
If you ignore your debt for too long, maybe you get a friendly visit from some debt collectors who are there to remind you that you should pay more attention to the debt.
Thank you for joining us today to look at the content and gameplay loop of Samson, a Tyndalston story.
Feel free to join us on our Discord or follow us on social media and let us know what you want to hear more about next.